One of the most popular videos on my channel that I've done was a collaboration I did with Super JAYAIN, where we talked about Krillin and how he was able to seduce Android 18 and how they were able to hook up. And one of the questions that I got in the comment section, and actually outside of it as well, is people were asking, how is it possible that an android, an artificial human, a Jinzo Ningen, how is it possible that they were able to, or that she was able to have children with Krillin? Well, I'm going to talk about it because there is somewhat of an explanation in one of the guidebooks. I'll talk about it momentarily. Hey Super Tubers, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and spread the word about the channel, and find me on these social media platforms. At some point in the future, I do plan on doing an entire video, probably a Dragon Ball in-depth, on the history of all of the artificial humans. I don't know if I should talk about just 17 and 18 individually and then talk about the others. I haven't decided yet, but I will be doing a bio on them. And some of the information I'm about to tell you is going to be in that bio. So people have often asked, how is it possible that 18 had a kid with Krillin? Obviously, Krillin's daughter Maron is his biological daughter. How is it even possible that she had a kid? Well, the thing about androids 17 and 18, the thing about them is that they were actually originally human beings. Before they were androids, they were human beings. Lapis and Lazuli were their names. Lazuli was 18, and of course, the Lapis Lazuli revelation came from a more recent Toriyama interview. But if you go all the way back to JAYAIN 7, the 7th guidebook for Dragon Ball, we find out that 17 and 18 were siblings and that they were delinquents, very similar to how they were portrayed in the future Trunks timeline. A little more so than even they were in the regular timeline, if you ask me. And so what basically is told to us is that Dr. Gero, or Dr. Gero in the dub, when they were younger, he basically kidnapped them, took them away from their families, which might be why they are a little bit resentful towards the doctor. We're not really sure. But what we do know is that he kidnapped them and he basically restructured them and basically implanted them with cybernetic parts to make them into what we know as the terrors that were 17 and 18. So they were humans first, they were a human base, and he found them, he kidnapped them, and converted them into being cyborgs / androids. So at the end of the day, 17 and 18 are still basically human, and for all intents and purposes. They were given kind of these biomechanical implants. I'm not exactly sure. We don't know if Gero trained them whatsoever, or if they took any kind of martial arts training. It's possible they did, but there's no guarantee. It may have just been the scientific experiments done to them, because if you look at 16 is just a 100% robot, and he's ridiculously more powerful. So obviously whatever kind of nanotechnology that the Red Ribbon Army had to create these guys, obviously they did it in a way to where it was as strong, if not stronger, than any other kind of technology we had seen previously in the series. I mean, remember, 18 broke Vegeta's arm with ease. So it's fascinating to me. So basically, Gero gave them a bunch of mechanical enhancements, but what's interesting is they're still living, breathing organisms, and not to mention there has to be some kind of data here, because in order for Cell to have absorbed them, there had to have been some kind of molecular similarities between them and Cell, and I think part of that is data that Gero and his computer were able to gather. Again, I'm just kind of spitballing it right now, but it's just kind of my idea of how he actually did this. So when these experiments were done on 18 and 17, obviously her reproductive system still remained intact. She still had living human hair, she bleeds, she has teeth, she has everything that a human being would have, including human biology. She's just been enhanced. That's why she's so damn strong. And as a result, she obviously has a daughter with Krillin. Now, a lot of fans have asked about her brother 17, because Toriyama stated in an interview that 17 actually adopted children, and that threw some people off, because I think some folks had thought that because he adopted rather than having biological children, that it automatically means that him and his sister could not have kids. But because Krillin had a kid with her, obviously that's not the case. Perhaps Dr. Gero did experiment on 17's reproductive system. Maybe he did do something to it. We don't know. There's not enough information out there. But Either way, even if he didn't, it's possible that 17 just chose to adopt. I mean, or maybe his wife was having issues having children. You don't know. You don't know. There's not enough information. But one of the big semi-plot holes that I picked up on was that apparently in JAYAIN 7, it's also stated that they don't need to eat, but they need to hydrate. I think that doesn't make any sense, because obviously if 18 was incubated with Maron in her stomach, or, you know, in her womb, so to speak, for 9 months like a regular healthy child, 18 would have had to have eaten in order to keep Maron alive, because there's no evidence at all that Maron is nothing other than a human being who has to eat and drink. So that part right there I really have trouble buying. I'm pretty sure that the androids eat just like anybody else does. I'm thinking what it is, guys, just based on the data that we have, is that they're humans with enhancements, therefore 18 can still have kids. So that about does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below if you have your theory as to how this could have happened. That's pretty much what I got from the guidebooks and just from what we see. Obviously she can have kids, and now you know why. So thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you down the road.